It's been nearly 40 years since it made its debut on the Porsche 959 in Germany. It's been close to 20 years since it became standard equipment on all new vehicles sold in the U.S. And it's very likely that many of your customers don't even know what it is. It is TPMS, which stands for Tire Pressure Monitoring System. It's found on every 2008 and newer vehicle, so it's almost a certainty that most cars in your lot are equipped with the technology. Yet it often operates in the background. If they don't need it, drivers may not even know it's working. In fact, in surveys performed by tire companies and industry associations, as many as half of all drivers have no clue about the TPMS warning light in their vehicles. And even professionals find that TPMS service can easily become overcomplicated. What's the difference between various TPMS sensors on the market? How do you choose the best sensor type for your business? How do you service TPMS properly and efficiently? Which programming tools should you use? The TPMS is basically a warning system attached to each tire's wheel. The device allows a vehicle to notify the driver if any tire's air pressure is running low via a light on the dash, indicating significantly low PSI, air pressure in pounds per square inch, that's 25% below the recommended PSI for the vehicle. Now, colder weather can naturally cause tire pressures to fall, so you may be getting more questions lately from customers about a strange light on their dashboard. The symbol of a cross-section of a tire with an exclamation point is your first thing to check. Look at the warning light's pattern. A steady light usually means there's something wrong with tire pressure, either that 25% above or below the recommended pressure. This may be because the tires were filled while warm. The air expands as it warms up, so a tire's air pressure will naturally increase as the tires spin and heat up. It's very common for a vehicle to show a solid TPMS light in the morning after cooling all night, and then for it to shut off as the vehicle is driven. Even if the pressure is reading correct when the tire is warm, keep in mind that the tire pressure can decrease 1 to 3% once the tire cools, which might be just enough to kick that TPMS light back on. The tires may have been filled to the pressure displayed on the sidewall of the tire instead of the recommended pressure on the vehicle's door placard. These are often two different recommendations and can be confusing for the average driver. Always inflate the tire to the door placard pressure. Has the spare tire been checked? Some vehicles will also read the spare tire pressure, so check that the spare is also inflated to the proper pressure in order to ensure the TPMS light stays off. Now, if the TPMS light blinks for 60 to 90 seconds before staying solid, this means a system malfunction, which requires more extensive service, like a sensor replacement or solving battery issues. Check to see if there's a dead, damaged, or missing sensor in one of the tires. Doing a quick test before touch will identify any sensors not working. Once you discover which sensor or sensors failed, find out why in order to make service recommendations to the customer. First, check for signs of damage. If the stem looks bent or the sensor isn't sitting properly in the rim of the wheel, it could signal that the driver hit a curb or a pothole just right, hitting the sensor and causing it to malfunction. You can also check the sensor body for any damage that could have been caused by improper handling during a previous service. If damage is present, the solution is to replace the sensor. If you don't see signs of damage, and if you have tool functionality, test the sensor battery. TPMS sensor batteries can't be replaced, so if the sensor battery is dead, the vehicle will need a new sensor. Knowing if it's a battery issue allows you to recommend the other 3 or 4 sensors should also get replaced at the same time. If one has died, the rest are sure to follow. Servicing them all at once will save the driver time and money in the end. If you don't find any malfunctioning sensors, then the issue likely lies with the sensors not being properly programmed or that a relearn is needed on the vehicle. A sensor could be completely functional, but perhaps was programmed incorrectly, so the vehicle's ECU can't find it, causing the TPMS light to illuminate. Or the sensors may have been programmed correctly, but were never relearned to the vehicle, so the ECU might not be reading the sensor. This creates an unreadable tire pressure and illuminates the TPMS light. A simple relearn procedure should solve this issue. Resources are available to help every service advisor understand how TPMS operates. And when you're more confident in your service capabilities, your customers will be more confident in your recommendations. Thanks for watching.